Today I'm going to show you how you can quickly get started with Terraform and New Relic. I'm assuming you've already installed Terraform. If not, and you're on a Mac, I suggest you use tfenv to install it, which you can find in Brew. This little tool lets you install and switch versions easily. Otherwise, just install Terraform following the instructions on the Terraform website. We'll start with blank slate and use the documentation to get started. View the New Relic provider configuration. This configuration lets us specify what version of the New Relic provider we want to use. Let's copy this block and paste it into a new file called main.tf. You can see in the documentation the latest version of the provider is 2.47. So let's update to that. The other thing we need to do is specify our New Relic credentials and region. Copy over this block and delete the first two lines. You could specify your credentials here, but I don't like to put credentials in code. We'll supply them as environment variables instead. My New Relic account is in the US region, so we'll keep US here. Now I need to run Terraform init to download the provider dependencies. In order to ensure this is working, let's create a resource. We'll create an alert policy because it's very simple. Find the alert policy resource and copy over the example into main.tf. Let's change the name here. Now run Terraform plan. It should fail. It fails because we haven't told it our account ID or API key. Now go to your account and create a user API key. You can find the API keys management in the top right. You want to make sure that you're creating a user API key. Now we need to create and set two environment variables with these details. First, set the account ID. You can find that here. Next, set the API key. Now run Terraform plan again. You should see it works. Now run Terraform apply. You should see the policy is created in your account. I find setting the environment variables each time I start a new shell a bit of a pain, so one way to make that easier is to knock up a quick helper script. Create a file called runtf.sh and set your exports there. I'll copy the values in here from before. We need to chmod the file so it's executable. Chmod +x runtf.sh. Right, I'll unset the previous variables and confirm the plan fails because they are no longer set. And now I'll run the plan using runtf like this. Great, so that's it, up and running in no time. So I hope you found this useful. You can find a link to this boilerplate code in the description.